A game between FunkOff and Sir Louis. Sir Louis, the best player who play Forged Alliance. He's Seraphim in this one. FunkOff is also pretty good. He's UEF. FunkOff goes with 4P gens of factory. Let's see. I'll speed this up a little. Might see some nice ratings. So one thing that Seraphim doesn't have is a light assault bot, so that's something that FunkOff can take advantage of. You can actually see FunkOff go on 4 P-gens, 2 factories. This is really low on power to get 2 factories. Usually people go with 5. You can see his first NG gets a mass extractor and then expands. He's kind of going around opposite way around here. Might be expecting some raiding from the top side from Sir Louis, although Sir Louis does not have a light assault bot, so I don't expect any fast raiding. See a scout from FunkOff. Be interested to see FunkOff's economy when he's making that second factory, if he's power stalling or not. You can see one of his NGs, single engine going to the Hydro. A Celine coming in from Sir Louis. And it is pretty quiet. We see a tank coming in from Sir Louis as well. And a tank from yeah, and it looks like this Celine has been put on hold fire, so tank cannot see it. After this unit doesn't shoot for 4 seconds, becomes stealthy. So FunkOff, 4P gens, 2 land factories, still working on the Hydra. Still it looks like power is fine for him. So perhaps with the proper amount of mech marines and scouts, there is no power stall with 4P gens. We see some aggressive tanks from Sir Louis. He's not going to be opposed when he kills that mass extractor. We see a 3rd and a 4th factory, land factory from FunkOff, no air yet. Do not see any air factories from Sir Louis either. We can see both ACUs going to the same channel. This is unusual. Usually you would see FunkOff move his ACU through the bottom channel. And now I see FunkOff will rebuild this mass extractor. Takes care of the situation with a few tanks. Now this Celine is going to be there for a while, unless an ACU runs by it. So that's excellent recon for Sir Louis. And now we see a mech marine sneaking around for FunkOff. Can start attacking that Hydra at any time. Now we see the 2 ACUs. This is 420. Have just walked past each other. Have other plans. They want to shoot each other. There's 3 mass extractors on the side for Sir Louis. Can cause a lot of damage. Really only 1 mass extractor on this side for FunkOff. So, but he has a shorter distance, it seems here, to FunkOff's base. We do see a standoff between tanks on either side. Looks like Sir Louis does have a slight numbers advantage, and FunkOff is retreating. Appears that FunkOff just captured that mass extractor, is going to get another. He can attempt to cut off the flow of units here if he gets his ACU on the way. And it looks like some early victories for Sir Louis. That's amazing that Celine's still alive. We do see air now for FunkOff. Mech Marine is just sitting there. So we can see 5th air from FunkOff. We see 5 land factories for Sir Louis, no air yet. FunkOff's ACU continues to capture mass extractors on Sir Louis' side. Sir Louis doing the same thing. This seems to be a pattern for Finns, although Sir Louis neglects making a mass extractor here. See a few already mixed in for the... Actually no, these are tanks. Just a single arty here. So finally that Celine has been killed. And now we see a ghetto from FunkOff. It's minute 7. Absolutely no air or flak from Sir Louis, at least not yet. Don't see any plans for air factory and no flag, so free kills for the ghetto. It's an excellent move from FunkOff. He does have numbers on the bottom side that's going to support his ACU. Most likely he'll just march into Sir Louis' base. Sir Louis still has a ACU pretty much with full health. He's just going to keep on getting mask extractors. Now we're seeing finally some flak coming out for Sir Louis. Now his ghetto needs to be careful. He'll begin to retreat. This force for Sir Louis is going to be about half flak very soon, and now FunkOff will be very aggressive. Still getting mask extractors on the Sir Louis' side. Now we see Sir Louis walking by with the ghetto shooting him. Now FunkOff has completely taken over his side of the map, plus a few mass spots on Sir Louis' side, so definitely has the better eco. And now we see some air coming out for Sir Louis. Finally an air factory, however, pretty big air dominance for FunkOff. So as long as that ghetto avoids the flak, it's free kills. I see a sonar from FunkOff, just in case Sir Louis tries to hide in the water. 15 kills for FunkOff's ACU, Sir Louis at 6. And a pretty massive force. Sir Louis is going to have to find an answer for it. It looks like he's going to retreat with his ACU. He might get enough numbers here at his base. I see some T1 bombers from FunkOff. We can try to target maybe power. We don't see any powers that's in a row. Maybe this spot right here would be a nice target. And Sir Louis was able to get numbers, and this force from FunkOff is getting killed. Only 5 tanks left, and an engine just sitting in the bushes for FunkOff. It looks like FunkOff's really established his ACU on the sides, been getting these mask extractors regularly, and now we see T2 ground coming out for FunkOff. Multiple mongoose. It appears that actually the air fight is shifting in Sir Louis' favor. FunkOff now bombing this T2 PD, has plans for this island. Interesting to see FunkOff just leaving NGs different parts of the map. I guess those are just in case he needs them. See T2 versus ACU. The T2 got to run away, avoid the overcharge, and another pretty big force for FunkOff. Can be a little more aggressive. We might see some ACU and ACU action, and T2 is staying away from the ACU. Don't see any shields yet. We do see some flak. Now, pretty nice T1 force here from Sir Louis, but good use of this T2, the mongoose, keeping them at range so they don't get shot. On the other side, actually, Sir Louis was able to get enough numbers to counter FunkOff's push. So really good defensive play for us from Sir Louis so far. FunkOff 15 kills on the ACU, Sir Louis 17. And we see 7 mongoose here for FunkOff. Shooting without being shot. This would be a nice place to overcharge. 23 kills for FunkOff. The air battle is still continuing. Now we see some T1 bombers going against FunkOff's ACU. And some T2 flak moves in, so no more air in this area for Sir Louis. FunkOff should be careful. He does have plenty of health on his ACU, but gets out just in time.
So good play from both players. On the other side we have very even numbers, but it looks like FunkOff might have a slight advantage. And now the Mongoose getting a little close to the ACU. One of them gets killed. 5 kills for some, 3 for the others. The Mongoose going to the other side, going to kill some undefended mask extractors. And Sir Louis takes the opportunity to make a small push. A lot of dead units here for Sir Louis. He can get a lot of wrecks. Still not a dead T2 PD from the civs. So a nice push with those T1 tanks from Sir Louis causes the Mongoose to retreat. On the other side we see a T1 force from FunkOff harassing Sir Louis' base. Now if we look at extraction numbers, Sir Louis sitting at 5,000, FunkOff at 1,600, so that's a really big difference. I guess the less aggressive player gets to pick up all the wrecks after a successful defense. See some pillars. Actually these are riptides from FunkOff, so in case he wants to go amphibious. It'd be a great counter to any phobos floating on water. While we see those riptides right there, they can completely avoid. I guess riptides are useful on this map no matter what. A T2 engineer from Sir Louis getting a T2 PD in this position. And elsewhere we see a standoff, it looks like, at least at this point. Oh, we actually some Yershevas here, some T2. So it looks like T2 land from Sir Louis. Sir Louis could make a push against these units, although we do see some of these riptides, extremely good units. Excellent to micro. And a push from FunkOff. This is just T1 into a whole bunch of T1 plus the Yershevas. Yershevas are going to get a whole bunch of kills, and this riptides come in from the side. Run into a T1 PD, a very well placed T1 PD from Sir Louis. And now the Mongoose come in to support. However, these Yershevas are going to be very powerful. So it appears to be a successful defense from Sir Louis. Still, trouble isn't over. FunkOff is in the water getting an upgrade. And a whole bunch of mass here for Sir Louis to take after the successful defense. And it looks like the Yersheva is targeted. Gets taken out by the Mongoose. T2 PD is still not complete. Appears Sir Louis is repairing this T2 engineer. Excellent control of these Mongoose now. 13 kills on one, 10 on the other. These are some veterans, 7 on the other, 7, 8. And now we see the riptides moving in directly. This is excellent micro from FunkOff. And T2 PD actually, T2 PD being built by Sir Louis in this area. See the NGs being targeted. And well, this will be very close. No T2 PD at least at this point. A successful T2 PD has been constructed on the other side. Looks like the T2 NG is sent on the other side to support. These have been very annoying Mongoose for Sir Louis. Some T2 flak just sitting around. Another squadron of Mongoose coming in to support. So we're going to see 9 Mongoose, and now this PD is completed. So the Mongoose will have to retreat. So 2 successful T2 PDs for Sir Louis. Now we see FunkOff with a gun upgrade. It's going to harass Sir Louis. ACU is going to have to retreat. 18 kills for Sir Louis, 24 for FunkOff. Some of these Mongoose, if they're spotted, looks like FunkOff is just staying out of range of that PD. You can see here, this is ridiculous. Perfect placement for FunkOff. It's a very good eye. Sir Louis with some T1, some Yershevas, and T2 PD. waiting for an assault from FunkOff, and now we see the Mongoose still harassing. We see some frigates coming out now for FunkOff. And now a push from FunkOff. He's sending in his T1 first. His T2PD at 12 kills, 13 kills. 14 before it dies. That was a really nice push from FunkOff, although it might not get a result. We see a T2 gunship from FunkOff. And T2 comes in to support the ACU, 27 kills in the ACU. FunkOff is following this up. Although successful defense with those Yoshuas, Sir Louis at the 2500 health. Stays alive, but we do see some T2 flak that kills off that gunship. Now Sir Louis having to, FunkOff's having to retreat. But he does have the gun upgrade, plus about to hit 40 kills, so no problems for FunkOff. These islands, actually, after 24 minutes, nobody has them yet. And now we've seen some NGs being produced by this factory, now going T2. We might finally see one of these belong to FunkOff very soon. So minute 25, we see FunkOff reclaimed 4,600. Sir Louis 10,000. It's a massive difference. Now you see those NGs getting that. Really, Sir Louis has been playing on very low power all game. Just a Hydra and a few P-gens can become a problem at T2 stage. Same can actually be said for FunkOff as well. Although quite a bit more power now, he's got a pretty big power deficit. See a T2 NG being killed for Sir Louis, a pretty big loss. 22 kills on one of these Mongoose. Sir Louis has been playing defense extremely well. FunkOff is actually kind of dangerous here. Of course, Sir Louis has no way of attacking C, so FunkOff can always run away. Seeing more power being produced by Sir Louis. And really nice aggressive NGs here. Now FunkOff is going to take over the islands. So it's not clear what possibly Sir Louis can do out of this position. He needs some genius ideas. And this inability to go into water makes it hard to think of anything. And it's going to be even more difficult once FunkOff creates a cruiser. So Louis is going to have to start making TMD. So I guess a nice Yoshua force with the ACU can make a push against FunkOff's main base if FunkOff puts too much economy into that navy. We do see a T1 Air Force from Sir Louis, although we also have one for FunkOff, so definitely not an advantage. T2 gunships for FunkOff as well. Now I see these Mongoose coming in close to the ACU. So really quiet, so wondering what Sir Louis is thinking. So far he's just been reclaiming, it seems like he's just waiting to die. He's upgrading mass extractors and making power. Maybe doing a little bit of raiding with T1 plus the Yoshua. But now he'll realize that a cruiser is attacking his navy, attacking his base. Saw a scout fly over his base, and now FunkOff can choose his targets, and the targets are going to be T2 mass extractors. So it's a very desperate time for a tactical missile defense for Sir Louis. Elsewhere, the gunships for FunkOff are preventing any kind of raiding. So perhaps Sir Louis will begin to push. It's not finished. That's Sir Louis now losing mass extractors. See Artie, T1 Artie versus a cruiser. And a cruiser gets out of the way, plus some gunships for protecting the cruiser, as well as a frigate. And now we're seeing some T3 ground from FunkOff, some Perseus. These can outrange and outgun the ACU, so Sir Louis got to get close to overcharge those. You may not have, yeah, there goes one overcharge, so one, but now there's multiple Perseus now from FunkOff. So against Perseus, even a foot bug probably won't save Sir Louis. I can see power as the next target, so as soon as Sir Louis loses power, he won't be able to overcharge. So then the Perseus can just move in. It's a very methodical game from FunkOff, very controlled. Excellent gunships, really no counter to them. Those Mongoose micro here was excellent, and then the cruisers. So basically things that have no answer. Still don't see any TMD for Sir Louis, as looks like he has basically resigned. He is sending his ACU back, maybe he'll try to overcharge those cruisers. And now the Perseus are moving in. Still no T2 engineers for Sir Louis. Appears that Air Factory is now the target. Imagine Sir Louis' economy is completely screwed. That is the case. So building anything is a bad idea. So it looks like he's back to the original spot where he started. Trying to make a radar. And he calls it good game. So extremely well played game for FunkOff, so hope you guys enjoy this one.